Hello, I'm Rebecca Lynch, Development and Grants Director for ArtsAVL, and I'm going to give an overview of the Asheville's Event Support Grant. We're happy to administer this grant on behalf of the City of Asheville and thank Pete and Cindy Perez for additional support. The City of Asheville Event Support Grant is facilitated by ArtsAVL, the city's contracted administrator of the grant program. This grant program provides a competitive process for nonprofit organizations to receive financial support for events that are free and open to the public and permitted within Asheville's streets, parks, and outdoor public spaces. The goal is to preserve public arts and cultural programming within Asheville's outdoor public spaces through the provision of financial assistance for community events that promote cultural heritage, diversity, and the creative arts. Proposals that increase exposure to the arts, promote a high quality of life for residents, and spur economic activity in the local economy through arts programming will receive priority. Grants typically range between $3,000 and $10,000, but may be more or less depending upon the event. You may submit only one application per organization, and important to note that the deadline to apply is October 14th at 11:59 p.m. The timeline for the grant cycle is as such. Applications open on September 8th and applications close. The deadline is October 14th. In late November, awards will be announced. And in early January 2025, the event fees will be available for payment by ArtsAVL. All events must be completed by December 31st, 2026. And within 60 days of the event, a final performance report will be due to ArtsAVL. Eligibility and requirements. The event producer must be a nonprofit 501(c) organization in operation for at least 1 year at the time of application. The nonprofit organization must maintain a physical presence in Buncombe County by conducting business and providing services within Buncombe County. All events supported must be admission-free and open to the public, permitted under the city's outdoor special event office, and conducted in person within Asheville's outdoor public spaces. Religious organizations or churches are not eligible for event support grants unless the programs are presented outside regular church services, engage the larger community, and do not contain any religious content. The program must take place between January 1st and December 31st, 2026, and a final performance report will be due within 60 days of the event date or the last date in a series. Priorities for grant proposals are ones that increase exposure to the arts, promote a high quality of life for residents, and spur economic activity in the local economy through arts programming. Allowable expenses. Grant funds are restricted to reimbursement for the following city fees and charges. Again, grant funds are restricted to city fees and charges. These are outlined in the nonprofit fee calculator that you will use in your grant application to determine your request amount. So no other city fees or other expenses will be supported by other event expenses will be supported by the grant funds. It is limited to the following: your application fees and alcohol permit fees, property use fees, street closure permit fees, temporary use permit fees regarding structural, electrical, and fire fees, transit impact fees, barricade and cone rentals, and parking closure fees. So again, only city fees are covered by this grant, and if you are applying for more than one project in your application, you'll be asked to submit one worksheet for each event. The grant fee calculator has been built by the City of Asheville's Outdoor Special Event. We highly encourage you to review the outdoor special event guide linked in your application in order to determine those fees, as well as scheduling a pre-application appointment with John Fillman. The link to schedule that appointment with John in the City of Asheville's Outdoors Special Event Office is also linked in the application. This calculator will to walk you through all the possible fees that you might need for your event and allow you to get the total that you'll be requesting. Again, if you've got questions, please use that appointment link there to schedule a meeting with John well in advance of the grant deadline. Do not wait until the very last day, as he may not be available to help you out. So again, review the City of Asheville Outdoor Special Event Guide for the details on the fees, and then for assistance with determining allowable expenses and completing the worksheet, please do schedule that appointment with John. This is new for 2025, 2026. We've listened and heard y'all. And so grant funding will no longer be dispersed on a reimbursement basis upon execution of the event. The City of Asheville will be invoicing ArtsAVL directly on behalf of the grantee for the final confirmed expenses. ArtsAVL will then pay the approved expenses up to the total approved grant amount. Any expenses incurred above the grant amount will be the responsibility of the organization, and you'll be billed directly by the City of Asheville for the overage. Your applications will be evaluated based on the following: the completeness of the application, the eligibility of the request, the feasibility of the completion within the time restrictions. Again, the event must be completed by December 31st, 2026. Organizational stability, community building aspects of the event, the aspects of resident well-being, and diverse impact. The selection process for event support grants is as follows. All applications are initially screened by ArtsAVL staff for completeness of the application, eligibility of the request, feasibility of completion within time restriction, and evaluation and final reporting requirements. Applications receiving a 0 on any of these categories or a total score below 20 will not progress to further review. If an application has passed the initial screening, it will go on to review, and it will be then scored and evaluated based on the following criteria by a selection panel. Again, application completeness, feasibility, organizational stability, community building. Does the event build community within Asheville? Resident well-being. Does this event increase exposure to the arts and promote a high quality of life for residents within the community through arts programming? Diverse impact. Does this event support diversity, inclusion, and accessibility? And accessibility. Does this event provide adequate support for attendees with disabilities? The selection panel is made up of 3 to 5 volunteers. They are expected to review and score each application using a scoring spreadsheet and detailed instructions provided by ArtsAVL. Those scores are then combined, averaged, and ranked, and then a final joint meeting of all panelists is held to review the combined scores, discuss applications, any questions or concern, and then a final funding recommendation is created. The applicant's combined scores, as well as any additional notes or feedback from the panel, is given to the applicant in their notification letter. If you do receive an event support grant award, your organization will enter into a contractual agreement with ArtsAVL. Again, the event must take place between January 1st and December 31st. A final performance report must be submitted within 60 days of the event date or the last date in a series. And please note that if we don't receive or there is a late final report, there'll be no funding for your organization for the next grant cycle. As far as the final report, you'll be required to report on the following information, including the event title, location, and date, total attendance, which could be an actual or an estimate, the net revenue earned, the primary challenges and issues on site, and the future outlook for the return, reduction, or expansion of your event. We also ask that you keep ArtsAVL staff informed of project milestones and or any changes. We're invested in your success and would like to be a part of sharing your story. And also, you'll be required to demonstrate recognition of ArtsAVL and the City of Asheville. To apply, all the information is available on our website at artsavl.org/ESG. So all of this information on guidelines and eligibility and questions is there. There's also a PDF of the application, so you can see all of the questions in advance, and we highly encourage you to prepare all of your answers and attachments offline in a draft working document. And then when you are ready to submit your application, once you have everything ready to go, that's when we'd like for you to go ahead and click on the Apply Now link that you'll see on this event support page on our website. It'll open up a Google form that looks like this, and then you'll submit all of your answers here. And please do remember deadline is October 14th, so make sure you have everything ready to go prior to that time. And again, if you've got any questions, we do ask that you no phone calls, but please go ahead and email me um, to set up an appointment to answer any questions, talk about your proposal. And then again, if you're having questions around the fee calculator, and encourage you to set up that meeting with John Philman. Thank you so much. As always, we're always super excited to hear about what our community is up to and what events you're going to be bringing to Asheville in the coming year. Thank you so much.